Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we're going to look at two different products from two different brands. We are going to be looking at the brand new Sunstone collection from Chantecaille and the new light reflecting primer and makeup setting mist from the lovely NARS. We are smack dab in the middle of a wear test right now, which I'll tell you about in a moment. I am so glad to have you here. Don't forget that you can also catch my content over on Instagram, TikTok, and on Threads. And don't forget, check the description bar for information on our really cool $4.99 a month membership here on YouTube for lives and such, and our free Facebook chat group. All the information is down below. Okay, let's talk about these products and then we'll get on with the demo. We're going a little bit backwards here. We are 2 hours into a test of the NARS Light Reflecting Makeup Setting Mist and 4 hours right now into a test of the Light Reflecting Primer, also from NARS. And we are going to give a full 12 hours at least to the primer. So let me tell you about them before we go to the demo and commence with the wear test. Okay, NARS has a whole light reflecting range of products now, and here are the two latest additions that we'll be testing today. We are going to start today with our NARS Light Reflecting Primer. It is $42. This boosts hydration, says that it extends your makeup wear for 12 hours. Doesn't let it fall flat. For 12 full hours, start with a little pearl-sized amount. It has a double hyaluronic acid inside of it, so of course it's getting in that skincare as well as helping to preserve your makeup. We're in the middle of it here so far. I'm not sure what I think of it. You'll have to wait until the end, but it definitely made my makeup pixelate on one side. If I look a little bit, you might be noticing, depending on how sharp your eyes are or your lighting, what the device you're watching from, you might notice that there's a slight difference in the sides of my face. Same makeup, but we're wearing the NARS products only on one side. I wonder if you can guess. Do you want to take a moment, actually? Go into comments and guess which side of my face. Do it from my side. So my left or my right. My left or my right. Which side has the setting spray and primer and which doesn't? I wonder if you can tell, because we're quite a few hours into it. I'm wondering if you can tell. And that would be a really... Go ahead and guess below if you don't mind. I just gave you some time to do it. My left or my right. If you're going by your side, just let us know. It would be your left or your right. Okay, so we're going to be testing that today. And then once we have the full makeup on, we're going to be testing the NARS Light Reflecting Makeup Setting Mist. This one is $36. This gives up to 24 hours of hydration, but it locks makeup in place for 12 hours. And I don't know if it has to be used with the primer or not. They're not saying that they're dependent upon one another. It's not like 6 hours and 6 hours or anything like that. But we're going to try it today, and I already have a different opinion of it from the primer that already, and just being a few hours into the wear test. So we'll talk about that later, and don't forget to let me know what side you think. Okay, let's talk about our Chantecaille products. Now, I didn't pick up the lip products, but there are 2 shades of lip product with this collection. I mean, how many lip shades can one person have, honestly? But, I love lipstick. I just picked up 2 of the new Guerlain. I'm overrun. Okay, so this Chantecaille Sunstone collection starts with beautiful packaging. I mean, look here's the blush and here's the bronzer. I mean, really, it really is kind of deserty, sunstoney. So this is the Sunstone Real Bronze. It is $82 and limited edition. Don't be shocked by the price. This is Chantecaille. Nobody promised drugstore pricing. It comes in actually 1 shade and has pearl pigment that's kind of aerated and very soft. It's a gel powder and it gives a real sun-kissed effect. Please watch the demo because this is what I'm going to call brush dependent. This isn't going to work with just any old brush. Okay, so, and it is pricey. It's not too fussy though. It's not like you have to buy a certain brush to go with it. You just need to choose carefully and you'll see that in the demo reflected. Again, limited edition, $82 Chantecaille pricing. And then we have one shade of our Sunstone Radiant Blush. This is $75 and also limited edition. Chantecaille packaging is a delight for sure. This comes in 2 shades, and you can get either a peach or a rose shimmer. And I have picked up the shade Confidence, which looks like it's the rosier shimmer, but you do have 2 choices here, only 1 choice in the bronze. This is, again, $75 and is limited edition with 2 shades, and there are 2 lip shades. Now, I am wearing both of these products all over the face because everything is a face palette to me, and I wanted something on the eyes as well to be able to test the NARS Light Reflecting Makeup Setting Mist. We are going to go now over to the demo, and we are in the middle of a wear test, but let me show you the start of it, and then we'll continue on. We are going to go 12 hours today. Please check and make sure that you are subscribed, and make sure you leave comments below and like and all of that good stuff. Let's go to the demo. Okay, I've got the whole day. They say 12 hours here on this NARS light reflecting primer and setting mist. Let's give it a go. I got the time, so let's go ahead and get started. Here's what I have on my face now. It's why I look a little bit scary. Sorry if I'm frightening your pets and children. I just have some skincare on that I put on about 40 minutes ago, so it's all sunken in now. Let's go ahead and start with the primer. And then, since it's a NARS product, I brought over my favorite NARS foundation because we need some foundation to know if it's going to last, right? That's the whole point here. And then we'll try on our Chantecaille products and we'll give it all a little spray and see what happens. Or maybe we should spray half the face. You know what? Let's change course and do half the face. What do you think? I like that, Rebecca. So do I, Rebecca. Okay, so let's go ahead and do half the face, okay? So we'll have the same foundation. Let's just pivot. Let's pivot together. Okay, so here we go. Here is the primer, first time use. And it's got this pretty little pink color, probably squeezed out a little bit too much of it, seeing as we're going to do half the face. Okay, so here we go. This side of the face is going to be our testing side in that we're going to spray this side of the face. I know I don't yet know how I'm going to cover this side, but we'll do the best we can. I'm pivoting truly along the way. I thought we were going to do the whole face, but what kind of a test is that, right? All right, so here we go. So we got skincare on both sides, so that's even. I didn't really use a lot today. Just some moisturizer and a little bit of, haven't put any sunscreen on because I'm not going out, so that's not part of the test, but let's not layer things up too much. Just some regular, okay, easy. Now I'd love to do a close-up and show you primer side, non-primer side, and that might be interesting, but I feel like we're not really going to see too much yet with that. It kind of just looks like a little more skincare. I'm not seeing a lot there. Okay, so now I'm going to put the foundation on both sides of the face, and we'll just do a little bit of initial. I'll get that away. It's on my hand next to the leftover primer, but I'll make sure they don't mix in there, because that really wouldn't work. Okay, first I'm going to apply to the non-primer side. This is the shade Duval, which I think is a little bit light for me right now. This is the non-primer side. The reason I'm doing the non-primer side first is otherwise I'll have primer on the brush. See, I'm thinking ahead, guys. I might have pivoted quickly, but I'm trying to think ahead. Okay, a little bit much there. All right, now the primer side. Could you mix the primer with the foundation? I suppose, but really primer isn't meant to do that. Some primers are good at thinning out foundation, but okay. Non-primer foundation applied. And now the primer it's allowed the primer to sit a little bit. So let's go ahead and put it onto the primered side, and we'll give that a watch, and we'll also spray that one side. If I spray the other side, but not primer, we're just getting a little too crazy. Let's not go too crazy, guys. Okay, I have no concealer on, but I can do a little bit of that. Okay. All right, so now Yes, I will wash my hands in just a moment. I have this product on the back of it too, so I will. Okay, so interesting. Let's see. Now that I'm kind of just smoothing it all out with my hands, Nature's makeup brushes. Let's take a look here. So, now we're going to see how this sits, and I'm going to make sure it's all blended in. I do need a little bit of concealer. I have some discoloration and my dark pits of despair, so I'll do that. But, all right, let me give you guys a look, and then I'll take a look. Primer underneath this side. No primer underneath this side. Skincare from the morning soaked in across the entire face. This isn't going to tell us too much. You know, we're at like 60 seconds in and not even that. There's definitely more luminosity just from the get-go on the side with the primer, but it's melding with my skin better on the side without the primer. Take this with a grain of salt. It doesn't tell us too much because, you know, you really got to wear it and let it chill with your skin. But on this side, I see it sitting on top of the skin and kind of pixelating a little more on the cheeks, and it's not doing that at all on this side. So that's kind of interesting, but we're going to have to see how it goes. Okay, I will tell you this. What I'm going to do right now is I'll do my brows, you know, stuff like that, maybe a little mascara. We're going to try on our Chantecaille products, and then we'll give it all a big spray and see on one side of the face, and then we'll just let it roll. I'm going 12 hours, baby. All right, I'll be back for you. It'll be lickety. You know, I got a whole day. We're going to do a 12-hour wear test, and I'm going to use it. So let me just tell you, I did add, as you see, a little bit of NARS. This will all be in the description bar. And, you know, I did my brows. I did put on some mascara. But I waited 2 hours just, you know, so we could give the primer just a little bit of time. I'll tell you. So far at 2 hours, of course, there's no change in the foundation as such. But I will say it continues to kind of pixelate a little bit. I don't know how else to describe that. Do you know when the foundation kind of sits on the skin a little bit rather than becoming part of it, and you can kind of see little like pixelated squares? Is there a better term I should be using for that? I don't know. But I kind of see it sitting on the skin a little more on this side of the face, which is the primer side, and it's melded with my skin a little more on this side. I've never done half a side of my face in primer before. This is actually a first for me. Maybe it's why I don't love primer. I don't know. If you were speaking to me at a normal distance, though, it's not something you would notice. I just wanted to mention it, and I left it. And we're going to spray this side of the face, too, and just kind of see what happens, you know. Will I be able to tell then if things break down, if it was the primer, if it was the setting spray? I suppose not. But we're not being entirely scientific here. We're being scientific adjacent. All right, let's talk about, or try on, I should say, our Chantecaille products. So we're going to start with what I told you was this Real Bronze, the Sunstone shade. And it is, you know, this gel powder. We talked about it, and it is only one shade. But Chantecaille is a very inclusive brand. So it's just, you know, it's buildable. And we're going to see what it does here, including maybe put it on the cheeks a little bit. And we are going to put makeup across the entire face. And I used a really fluffy Sonia G bronzing brush here, but let me tell you, not seeing much benefit from that. Are you seeing anything? Maybe if I do one side of the face? Not so much. Please pardon me while I get maybe a little bit of a stiffer brush. I do see a difference, but not enough, and I have light medium skin tone. So let's give this a better chance, and I will go off camera and find a more dense brush. It's a bronzer. I thought a bronzing brush. Stay there. Okay, let's let our experiment continue here. I brought another Sonia G. This is a little bit more of a fan brush, but I also just brought like a Merit stiff kind of kabuki brush too. Because gosh darn it, we're going to make this work. Because I'm not really, I'll just do one side. Forget the whole primer experiment. Oh, that's already better. Look, that's already better. This is nothing really to do with primer. I'm just bronzing. So forget that for a moment. Okay, that worked. I didn't have to, I thought if this didn't. Okay, so super airy super airy, fluffy bronzer brush for your dark Armani and YSL and any sort of, you know, powdery. This is a gel, but it's a gel powder. No, didn't really produce anything. But this slightly denser kind of fan brush seems to have done the trick. So this is going to be a little brush dependent. If you ordered this, please know that. And now I'm seeing a very different product. So this is going to be brush dependent. Please keep that in mind when you use yours. It's not any old brush. But once I switched it up, just a little bit denser, looks like it's good to go and very pretty. Light, medium, neutral skin. And medium, you could still use this and just go much deeper. And if you have deep skin, it might be problematic, but if you purchased it and you have a deeper skin tone, we would certainly love to know your experience in comments. But for light medium, once I got the right brush, it was really nice. And if you have very fair skin, maybe you could just use that kind of fluffy, typical bronzer brush. So I don't know. And let me take a refer number 27 and just go into that. Let's just put it into the creases of my eye, just because I want to have, it's not an eyeshadow video, but I just want to have something to kind of, you know, make sure we stay on when we use our setting spray in a moment on one side of the face, right? Okay, now we're going to move on to this radiant blush, the Sunstone Radiant Blush, which you've already seen. All right, and let's take a look here. Fluffy brush. Let's see if that works. See if it picks up any product here. I'm starting to question my brush choices here. Well, that seems fine. But let me tell you guys, the payoff on these, they're very buildable, but it's very light. These are both going to be very brush dependent. This is going to have a little bit better payoff with a denser brush than I've even brought over here. So let's, one more time, let's switch it up. Stay right there. All right, let's try a Wayne Goss number 12, which is a lot stiffer, and I think it's going to work. Yes, it picked up more product. This is kind of one swipe versus one swipe with this fluffier Sonia G. Let's see. All right, much better. Both of these products are going to be dependent on what brush you choose to use. But that's actually nice because if you're really fair skin, let me overdo it a little bit. You'll like that because a fluffier brush will kind of help you out. And if you have light medium all the way till deep, you're going to want to go with a much stiffer brush, or it's going to take you quite a while. This was a much faster application. We would have been here for some time had I kept using that airy brush. I should have known better. That's okay, that's why we experiment. Okay, and that is overdone. Very pretty. Some across the bridge of the nose. Just using the viewfinder, so haphazard. Gonna take this brush again because this number 27 Refer eyeshadow brush is nice and dense and just, place a little bit of color. Everything's a face palette to me, guys. Across the eyes. I was ahead of my time. When I'm on my own, I have very rarely ever done my whole adult life really complicated eye looks. I have always just kind of put some blush and bronzer on the eye. And now that's kind of in vogue, so I started a trend. Okay, so let's see how we're doing there. Okay, all of this has primer on only one side of my face and not on the other, and we're going to try to do the same with the spray. Everything looks nice. The colors are definitely more vibrant. I applied the same amount of product, but the colors are definitely more vibrant. I will say this though, my foundation is going into the fine lines, not that I have any, of my face a little more on the side with the primer. So far enjoying the side without the primer more. Who would have thought? All right, let's give a spray. Now, if you haven't seen me spray before, this is quite comical. I cut a face. As our old grandmothers used to say, stop cutting a face. I cut a face a little bit. What do I mean by that? That I don't like being sprayed in the face. It's not like I'm testing this for you guys, but I very rarely use setting sprays or mists or anything like that on my face because I don't enjoy the feeling of it. Okay, so we got to shake it up and go about 10 inches away. I will try to avoid this side of my face if I can. Aha. Let's do it. Okay, with our fan. Sheila. Okay, ready? Here we go. 10 inches away, 12 inches away. Pardon me while I cut a face. I just always do. That was closer than 10 inches. Ugh, I hate that feeling. I just don't like being sprayed in the face with product. Ugh. Okay, and I use this. Okay, so that was pretty good because the fan blocked it. Okay, well, first of all, and I really gave it a good spray. I know you guys are going to be in comments going, that was like 3 inches away, Rebecca. I know, hold it 10 inches away. Do as I say, not as I, oh, that feels nice. Actually, it's warm out. Okay, so drying that a little bit with my lovely fan, which I'm a fan of. All right, let me just say, first of all, and of course it's still wet, a very, very pretty setting spray. Really dewy. I love the look of setting sprays. I just don't often use them because of that face I cut when I put them on. So now let me make sure that you guys can see well. We have this side of the face, same Chantecaille makeup, of course, and same skincare way underneath. But we have our new NARS primer and finishing spray on this side only. And I tried to give that primer a little bit of time just so we could have some sort of an opinion on it. We've got nothing on this side. And I am letting that finishing spray really kind of sit there for just a moment so that we can, you know, figure out if we like it. Setting mist, they're calling it, not a finishing spray. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at, let me make sure you can see. Look at the pink from the blush with the setting spray over it, this side versus this side. It's much more pastel on this side. It has gone a bit more rosy, and I think much prettier shade after the setting mist on this side of the face. What do you think? For sure. For sure. Wow. Oh my goodness, wow. I mean a definitive different shade on, it's got a little bit more coral on this side, a little bit richer on this side of the face. I think that's an undoubted difference. Oh, that's really interesting. Okay, so I got a lot more time here. I've done about 2. We need to go about 10 more hours here, really to see about the primer. And well, I guess, I don't know if I've got 12 hours to give the setting spray exactly 12. The setting spray will probably end up getting about 10. I cannot tell a lie. But I will wait an hour or two to do the intro. And that will give us a little bit of a backwards, I know, but a wear test there too. So bear with me. And we'll be right back once all the time has passed, okay? Hey, it's been 12 hours. This is my slightly imperfect wear test. I have reapplied the NARS lip that I was wearing. It will be in the description bar, but I reapplied it about an hour ago. But that's all I've done. Everything else is as it was from the last wear test that you have seen, okay? The lips didn't stay for 12 hours. And this is, like I said, a slightly imperfect wear test because we have let the primer go 12 hours. But I mean, you know, I thought I had nothing but time today, but you know, I let the setting mist go 10 hours. But I have some definite opinions on it. All right, first of all, let's talk about our Chantecaille products. And still, if you haven't yet, now you know. I hope you voted when you could about what side had the setting spray, because now you know. All right, so let's talk about the Chantecaille Sunstone and my thoughts on that. Another really gorgeous limited edition, kind of use all over your face Chantecaille product. Very similar. If you love Chantecaille, you'll love these products. As you noticed in the demo, they are brush dependent, so please choose wisely. A little bit of a denser brush is going to really help you with these gel kind of powder textures, but they are absolutely beautiful. And at first I thought that the bronzer was kind of a bit of nothing, but that's kind of its point. It's just a little bit here or there of a little bit of color, and I think actually very, very pretty. And in terms of the blush, not as impressed. Very pretty, but not quite as, I mean, you know, if you got a pink blush, or if you're really a huge fan of Chantecaille and it's your main makeup purchase and your main splurge, then you'll love it. But if you have a lot of blush, and there has been a lot of blush released, you know, I don't think you'll be sad without it. If you indulge either of the 2 lip shades, please tell us down below what you think of it. Okay, now let's talk about the NARS products. It's been 12 hours for the primer and 10 hours for the setting mist, only on this side of the face. Okay, first of all, when I put on the primer, I reported right away that the NARS foundation that I used was, oh God, that's so messy, sorry. My staff isn't cleaning my makeup bottles well. Okay, when I first put this on over it, I felt it pixelated over the primer, and that did go away after a few hours. I want you to know that did go away after less than a few hours. I thought so. Okay, but at first I really liked the look of it without the primer. I am not that impressed by the primer. I am not a primer person. I very rarely use primer. If you are, you will probably like it. If I had to use a primer, I like the Hourglass a little better. You know, the newer Hourglass primer. If I were using a primer, I kind of like that a little better. Or just skincare as primer. Or I like a dewy kind of Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter as a primer if I'm using a matte. I don't just use a primer. I'd rather actually use the setting mist. It's up to you. I think it's a very nice one, but I'm not like run out and drop your money on this immediately. Okay. That being said, I do want to talk about the light reflecting setting mist from NARS. Boy, what a difference. And it kind of reminds me a little bit, it kind of does what a MAC Fix Plus does, but if you know, MAC Fix Plus is kind of a makeup enhancing mist. It's not really a setting spray. So this has the qualities of the MAC Fix Plus, plus it does make the makeup stay. It stayed really well. I want you to see something here. I'm going to take a look and I'm going to zoom you guys in as well. Two things have happened on the side with the setting spray. Number one, the colors on my face have gotten more vibrant. Not dark, not costumey, not hideous, but more vibrant. Secondly, they have remained that way. This side of the face without the setting mist was not as vibrant and has faded a little bit more through the day. Yes, I have the primer on it. It's definitely still there, but it is muted a little bit, and it has definitely stayed as rich as originally applied on the side with the setting mist. This setting mist has also given me just a little bit of luminosity to the skin, but nothing outrageous. It's not oily in my T-zone. So if you have dry skin, it would work for you. And if you have an oilier complexion, you're not going to have a problem with it, but it's given a little bit of luminosity to the skin, which I greatly enjoy. And it looks like my makeup was absolutely freshly applied 5 minutes ago. And you can tell that this one is getting a little long in the tooth, so to speak, in terms of the hours that have worn on. So if I had to choose one of the two, I would choose the setting mist. Even though I go like that when I put it on, I don't like that feeling. I'm quite pleased with the results. It's a pretty one. Again, kind of like the MAC Fix Plus, but with some setting capabilities too. And it's got a lot more comfort than something like Urban Decay All Nighter, which basically is hairspray all over your face, which is what makeup artists used originally when they were using setting sprays. So this one isn't sticky, isn't weird feeling. Even the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, which is a great setting spray, and the One Size, another great one, I can definitely feel them. And this one is much more like a MAC Fix Plus feel. Just kind of refreshing and nice without being sticky. So definite thumbs up to the setting mist. And I have nothing wrong with the light reflecting primer, but I'm not like blown away like you've got to go get it. So those are my thoughts on all of those products. Now, what are yours? I would love to know what your thoughts are down below. I mean, that's what makes us a community. And I would love if you can give me a comment, tell me what you're thinking, like this, share it, and of course, subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video tomorrow.